Victor has thoughts.
Welcome back to Digibros. We're starting it off calm. We're starting it off real calm. We're getting sensual, we're getting soothing. We're not screaming. We're not screaming at the top of our lungs and fucking losing our shit, man! We're not losing our shit anymore! Victor's not exploding! Victor's not shaming fat people who did nothing wrong! We're calm!
Everybody remember that Let's Play show that shamed fat people?
Oh, now I can upgrade this thing. Huh. I can damage and reload and capacity and everything. Yeah. Yeah, maybe this shotgun won't fucking suck now. Anyways, I had some interesting thoughts about this game. I actually have thoughts about the game that I'm playing.
Victor has game
I like
thoughts.
the game design philosophy going into this game that people have criticized Breath of the Wild for a lot, because this is a game that it has a central mechanic. It's got this idea of like the darkness spreading and you have to get out of the dark and get to the light. And this whole game is structured around like exploring that one mechanic. They have one thing, and they're doing every possible gameplay scenario related to that one thing of exploring the light. And a lot of people have gotten on Breath of the Wild because it has all these tools and things, and it has all these little puzzles, but the puzzles end before they really get in depth with the mechanics of how it works, and like they don't really explore every puzzle to the true extent that it could be. But then I like that this is a game that's just a puzzle mechanic. Like,
It's just a puzzle.
It's shooting and a puzzle, and they went fucking all in fleshing that out to the best of their ability.
Where
to the
are you
greatest
going?
extent. I don't know. I thought I was following that dude. Now I got really confused.
You were supposed to follow the fish. You're going
Oh,
backwards.
did he go this? Where did he go?
That way, up the dark alley.
Oh,
He went up there.
I thought I was looking at a wall.
Oh my
Anyways,
god.
I guess that's my whole thought about this. I like that they took a mechanic and they're doing everything they can possibly do with that mechanic. It's cool. It's neat. Not enough games do that anymore. It's all about fucking having a million things going on. Oh, there'll be a million mechanics, and none of them are fleshed out all the way. This is just it's one idea, it's one premise. You could tell they probably came up with that premise before they made the game, and just made the game about that. Let me get some hot sakis. Yeah. Anyways, we got a topic? What's
Victor
going
becomes steadily
on?
more reliant on hope for topics.
This is it's great. You're a fucking human topic machine. You're the true human content machine in this relationship. I had a funny point to make about how this show has went from a show about me and Conrad doing a podcast together to two Conrads and two Victors doing podcasts. We just replaced each other with ourselves, and so now there's just two podcasts that are echo chambers of the same person
Echo chamber.
talking. Yes. It's
Yes.
quite wonderful.
Welcome to the Digibros Echo Chamber.
Yes. Where we
talk
agree
to
on
ourselves
everything
for
to an
3
incredible extent.
hours.
Me and Conrad were already similar enough, in terms of what we like and what we agree on. Now it's just two people who are basically the same.
Having a
literally
dialogue.
the same opinions on everything, and they're having dialogues about things. It's quite
About
wonderful.
how they agree so much about
No
everything.
one. There's never been a more agreeable podcast series in the world.
We're the opposite of the biggest problem in the
Yes.
universe.
Hey, is that a problem with a lot of nerd casts and things? Is that it's just like an echo chamber of people agreeing with each other? Maybe that's
It's
what makes it
possible.
refreshing, because you watch the news and stuff, and they're all about like trying to get people who disagree to just fucking sling shit at each other. But then like you get something like, especially with a lot of movie criticism and stuff, and like you watch Half in the Bag, and it's just most of the time two guys who agree, like dogging on something that they agree on, and it's like
Yeah.
you don't have an opposition there. And then the opposition will be the comments, and then they suck, and you can't get any good discussion out of it. And you hardly ever have a contrasting opinion, unless you have someone like the Procrastinators does a good job of having someone be the fucking devil's advocate even though they might not even agree with what they're saying.
Yeah, it takes a special skill to argue a point that you don't believe.
But then that podcast is much more stressful. That's one of the problems that's become of the Dick Show, is that it's like, before it was all about two guys arguing, and now it's just about like a guy with people who agree with him, like talking about something where they don't have a contrasting opinion on, which he started like not bringing on certain guests, because like the guests he can always get are always right-wing people, but they just like agree with him too much, and so he doesn't want to bring anyone on because there's no one who disagrees with him.
Yeah.
Because it's no fun to just have an echo
Someone,
chamber,
yeah,
you know?
sit there and just echo everything you've said.
Fuck. Damn it. Shit! I'm assuming I need to use that on these guys because they're all armored. Oh, never mind.
Or you can
I just
shoot them.
can't shoot the armor. Woo!
Uh...
Let's see how good the shotgun is now that I gave it... Oh, whoa, now it has 4 bullets. Fuck yeah. Oh, hell
God.
yeah. This has gotten way better. This thing fucking sucked before. Okay, we're playing the game. Alright,
It's a spooky man.
I had thoughts to say about, I guess we should get this out of the way now before it gets too long between Digi and May's Tomb Raider thing. But a reaction to their reaction to us. Because we were talking about, soulmates and, like, predeterminism in that kind of way, and then Conrad went on this whole fucking rant about how we're faggots, and about how, like, there's no such thing as free will, and everything's determined by, like, chemicals in your brain and all that shit, and it was a little, some of the points were good, but then, like, I feel like he had a central misconception on what we really meant by free will in that discussion.
Yeah.
Because, like, I kind of agree with the... Like, your body's run by chemicals and stuff, and it's all this, you know, all that, nature and nurture and all your actions are influenced by, like, your psychology and all this shit. And it's like, yeah, that's fine if you want to be, like, a faggot logical explanation of, like, why you act the way you act. That's not what I meant by free will. Like, I really don't care about that aspect of it. The point of it is that... It's the predeterminism. And, like... You gotta remember that, like, we're talking about Hope's mom, who is someone who is Christian, you know? Like... I don't like the idea of soulmates in the way that it is a match made by God. Like, that's what I meant more in the free will line. That this, from her perspective, this is...
That a greater deity has said this is how it's gonna be.
A match made by God. And that's where I'm coming from there. So it's not the same as what Conrad went on about. So I kind of felt like he was misrepresenting our argument. And took it in a different direction. Which he probably latched onto that aspect and then was just thinking about that the whole time we were fucking talking about our shit anyways.
And I guess the other thing that maybe, you know, there's no distinct way to back this up, but with the of course, you know, the chemicals and the hormones that your body secretes and whatnot have a big influence on some of the ways that you act, but it also feels like, in a sense, that wasn't as big of a factor, at least for me, because being asexual, you don't really experience some of that. Like, I feel like I've never felt some of the, like, the really strong urges that people have talked about in regards to things like that, like love and stuff. Like, I feel like I don't...
Your condition of asexuality doesn't make sense within that framework if it's all like a nature thing. Because, like,
if it's all my brain firing off these chemicals...
then why wouldn't you be a certain way? And then if you get into childhood psychology and things, and what psychological things could have led to that condition, like sexual anxiety or something like that, then it's just like, well, now you're, like... You can't make the determination that you have no free will because your life has, like, led you to be a certain way. Like, that's weird. I don't know. That just feels a little ham-fisted in, like, trying to line up with your own argument kind of thing. What the fuck, man? This is a bitch. Okay, that's what I thought I had to do, and I just was missing. Fuck. Okay. Shit, I had another thing to say, now I got lost in it. Fuck, Oh, what was I gonna say?
Chemicals in your brain.
Oh yeah, I was gonna relate that back to my own sort of my experience with depression, because what that ended up becoming for me in high school is like I became obsessed with the chemical psychology of it all, because everything in psychology, they try to, the scientific explanation is that you have brain chemistry and serotonin and all these things, they have different influences, and you have, you know, excessive amounts or not enough, you know, lack thereof, and that's what causes you to act a certain way, and then the medications are supposed to balance all that out and everything. And like I operated under the assumption that all of that was accurate and true for the longest time, until I started actually taking medication. And now I kind of just feel like it's all an excuse. Like, for me at least. Because the medication didn't help me, for one. And it actually made things a lot worse. And then I kind of figured out that, like, what these psychiatrists are really doing is just, like, putting you on whatever, like, to see what works, and they can't really, like, determine your brain chemistry or anything. They're just kind of, like, spitballing it.
Yeah, it's just a shotgun guess.
And so, like, I feel like I became woke to that whole shit, and, like, I can't buy the brain chemistry shit anymore. Like, I don't feel like that has a giant hold on you the way that science wants to explain that it does.
Yeah, I feel like everyone's chemical makeup is different, and so it's hard to say, like, this is 100% the way that a chemical is going to affect you as an individual.
And there's the argument against free will there is that you don't have free will, it's just the chemicals influencing or whatever, but I feel like you can act against that.
Yeah.
You know?
Because, I mean, if that was true...
You can have your first intuition on what to do and then change your mind. But then Conan will go, oh, but the reason you did change your mind on that is because of this influence on your life that led you to be that way. But that's, you're making it so gay now. Now it's like a semantic argument. Like, it's so lame.
Yeah.
The argument to me felt too, like, it just felt kind of gay.
You're not just a bundle of chemicals interacting with each other, you know? Yeah. If you were, then you would just do every little base impulse that you had, so, I mean... It's more
I need Conrad here to have the argument with because something about his speech about it just rubbed me the wrong way, and I was like, I'm not buying it, dude.
Victor
I'm not
just
fucking buying it.
makes the argument that it's gay. It's just a gay
bro.
argument.
Dude, your argument's gay. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Eloquent.
Fucking shit, this boss is a bitch, man. I guess I should have upgraded my fucking light shot.
Oh, shit.
Fuck.
Get wrecked.
My potions. I'm out of fucking booze.
Yeah, you're out of tequila.
What can you do when you're out of booze?
Cry.
None of my finest enemies is as broken as you to me.
What?
It's an old meme.
Ah.
Did you ever watch, shit. X-Play?
X-Play?
The original. X-Play? You never watched, what is it? Game TV? What the fuck was it called? G4?
I didn't have G4.
G4 Tech TV. Wow. That was a whole fucking era of gaming
had, like,
youth.
Only the most basic cable, dude.
I feel like G4 really helped to solidify, like, being a gamer as, like, a thing, you know? Like, it went from being a guy who plays video games to, oh, gamers, you're a gamer! This is gaming! Gaming rules! Gamers, yeah, gaming! That really, put the meme into the culture. But there was a show called X-Play. It was Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb. And, that was the original, like, they did game reviews and they did funny stuff, and that was, like, the game review show before YouTube, you know? It was a fun time. It was also a shit time. Sometimes it was a good time, sometimes it was a terrible time.
It was the best of times, it was the worst of times.
It was one of those networks that, like, truly started out as, like, something cool and new and, like, interesting, and then just became the most fucked up shill bullshit, like, obnoxious, pandering bullshit over time. And then just became... Literally all they played was Ninja Warrior, and then it was gone. Like, they just fucking tanked. Guys, this boss is hard, and I am dying. Anyways, let's get on to one of Hope's topics. I talked about Digi in May. I talked about G4 Tech TV.
For like 2 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, fuck, do I gotta do the whole zombie part again and everything? Oh, no, okay. It's just him.
It's a her.
It's a her?
Yeah, she's one of the sisters.
Sick, dude. Seriously?
Were you fucking paying attention to the lore?
You know I'm not paying attention.
I know.
Fucking Jesus tits, man. Ah, this gun sucks for bosses. Ah, fuck! I keep hitting the wrong fucking button and shooting the stupid second gun. Were you on a topic? Are you doing your hair or something? Okay.
Yeah, let's put my hair back up.
Hope became temporarily distracted by putting her hair up. And
it's hot.
You can say that again.
Shut
I
up.
had to freeze because I was gonna comment on how cute it was, and I was like, "Oh, I'm being gay." And then she was
Anytime
like, "Oh, it's hot,"
Victor
and I'm
just
like,
stops talking, I know why. It's just like, oh, he was being super gay.
I'm thinking
okay.
of how much of a faggot do I want to be in this moment.
That's something Victor has to ask himself a lot.
Yes. To fag or not to fag? That is the question. Okay.
All right. Well, I had a topic that's kind of an interesting thought. So when we were at Otakon, we went to a panel of just a guy talking about a bunch of different Japanese punk and rock bands that are all girl.
Yeah.
So all female, like punk bands, metal bands, rock bands, whatever. And it was just really interesting because Japan has a ton of all female bands. Mm-hmm. And that kind of made me and Victor start talking about the fact that there's all these really cool, popular, super talented all-girl Japanese bands, but there's no all-girl American bands.
Yeah. There's barely any to begin with, and then like most of them aren't great, you know. There's stuff like there's the Coat Hangers, which is a cool all girl like punk band, but like they're not super like technical or anything. Like they're super simple like on the instrumentality and stuff. But like the Japanese girl punk bands are always like fucking ultra technical math rock music and stuff, and it's like, why? Where is that? Where is that in America? Are they incapable? What's going on? Fucking shit, man.
And I think that's partially because when
Fuck!
you look...
No!
Oh.
I died.
He got killed.
I should have healed one. I couldn't hit him. I wasn't hitting him.
Yeah, you weren't. Anyway.
Yeah. Go
It disrupted my thought.
You are right.
But yeah, you're hard pressed first of all to find any all female bands in America, because normally when you see a female musician in America, it's gonna be just one girl who's like a pop idol.
They're usually the singer, and then it's a backup band of guys. Like if you look at the '90s, like probably the coolest musician I've come to realize from the '90s in retrospect is like No Doubt with Gwen Stefani. Because some of their songs were pretty cool. But it's like a girl singing with a male backup band,
yeah,
you know?
It's always male backup band.
And then Gwen Stefani went on to become fucking awful.
Yeah.
She became an awful pop idol.
Yeah. But I mean, you've got your Taylor Swifts, and you've got your, Demi Lovato, or whatever the kids are listening to these days. But most of the
these
time...
irrelevant 2000s bands are.
Most of the time when you think of a female musician in America, you're thinking of like someone whose identity is as a solo artist. You don't have any female like bands. And I guess that might kind of link up to, how in American culture girls aren't really encouraged to work together. So maybe girl bands just don't get formed.
Maybe all of the girls in girl bands are girls who don't like girls. That would be interesting because they all grow up as a minority, as a girl who wants to be in a band, and so they all aren't like other girls and don't get along with other girls, and then end up in a band with a bunch of guys because they get along with guys more than girls.
Yeah,
that
probably
could literally
is a part
be
of why...
the entire reason.
But yeah, there's a sore lack of
Got
American
'em!
girl bands. Oh, nice.
I'm sorry. Okay. Yes, there is a sore lack of girl bands. Even bands like Crying that I've gotten super into. It's a girl singer with an all-male band.
Yeah.
Or there's like Silver Sun Pickups, girl bassist, everyone else is a guy.
You got a Chaos Emerald.
Not a full... I got a Chaos Emerald! I can't hold on much longer. I know it's baby. Close my eyes and feel the burn. Destroyed my throat doing that.
Nice.
Oh, my Dominator got upgraded.
Your Dominator. Hot boner. Even
Hot
something like
boner.
Baby Ghost is like majority female, but there's still guys in the band.
It's like 2 girls and 2 guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not
and,
a lot of all-girl bands, man.
But in Japan, you just have like a plethora. There's just
Yeah.
all these all-girl bands in all sorts of different styles. It's not even like they're all, one particular genre.
And all we can do is speculate on why. Like, there's no one to tell us why.
Yeah, it really is a...
Absinthe. Fuck yeah. Anyways, continue.
It really is pretty curious because I guess it's gotta be, and you made the point that like in America, at least guys don't want to hear girl music. They don't want to hear girls like make music or sing or like they don't want to listen to girl music because it's not masculine.
Yeah. Even though to an extent I feel like that's mostly true with kids. Because as you get older, like, you hear a lot more of that. Like, guys who are into pop music and they just don't, like, express it very much.
I guess.
Or maybe it's a thing that's these days as opposed to in olden days, you know?
I mean, I think that is kind of changing. I still think a lot of really stereotypical, like, dudes that are in the military and shit like that, they're still pretty resistant to listening to music by girls because it's too feminine for them. But then you will see guys who are like that listening to, like, baby metal.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, yeah, baby metal. But it's like, it's these little tiny girls. What's the difference between baby metal and listening to any other girl sing?
Yeah.
Like, just because it's metal music so you don't feel gay? Like, what's the deal?
I don't know, bro. What guy is the guy in question doing that?
Someone I used to work with, her husband.
Okay.
He's a military guy.
Yeah. I don't know specific examples. I don't have any examples of a guy who listens to baby metal and no other girl music.
Yeah. I mean, it's just because it's
yeah,
metal.
I believe it's a thing. Yeah, I believe I'd probably hang out more with people who are chill and down and
yeah. I think
not the
among
typical
people
male.
that we hang out with, it's not so much a thing, but amongst, like, the normies.
What the fuck is up with this room? Is there a puzzle here I'm missing?
Just got buttholes everywhere. Butthole there.
There's butthole.
Shoot the butthole.
I shot it.
You did. Oh.
It's going. There were like a bunch of dots. It showed me a bunch of dots. Oh, maybe I have to use my new hot boner.
Yeah, it just said shoot it with the hot boner. Yeah.
But like, what? It's just like glowing dots and then nothing. What is this? Is there a mechanic I'm missing here? Oh, I can charge it and hit multiple points.
Oh. I
said a bunch of Oh, yeah!
Welcome to Digibros. We're learning game dynamics.
They really
today.
had to force this mechanic on me. Yeah! Bah! Yeah! Red diamond. Yeah! That's... I won't do the song, but it looks like a KSR roll. Boom! Alright, guys, I'm playing that. I'm getting it. Yeah, not enough girl bands.
Yeah, so I think there's a big problem with not enough girl bands in America. There's plenty of cool Japanese girl bands.
Explanation I can think of for why there's not enough... for why there's more Japanese girl bands in Japan is just that there's always been more. Like, at some point in the 90s, there were more Japanese girl bands and they were good, and so more girls were influenced to make all-girl bands or something. That's the only... Like, it can only be a thing because there just weren't enough... Like, rock music was too hyper-masculine in the 80s in America, and maybe it was more accepting to femininity in the 80s in Japan, and so it forced its way in a little easier.
Maybe, because I mean, if you think about it, the only really notorious girl bands that you can name in American history are like Destiny's Child or the Dixie Chicks, and they're pretty irrelevant now.
Like I think they were like hair band girl bands, but like they sucked and they never caught on, you know? No one was about it in that time.
Right.
What time are we at in this episode? This might be a good stopping point.
25 minutes.
25 minutes. I think we're done with this episode of Digibros, and it's 12:14, so we should
Yeah.
probably chill, watch some BoJack Horseman season 4,
Yeah.
and go to sleep.
I work tomorrow.
All right, guys. Next time on Digibros, it will be in a time that is not tonight. Who knows how long it'll be before we record another episode.